Okay, here we are at station 19, a simple desktop computer, and up here we've got an Xbox 360 Kinect. You notice that I've got it plugged in, and I'm kind of hiding some things to make the video easier to see. Okay, so step number one now is going to be to open a piece of software called Reconstruct. You can see the icon here. Reconstruct will take a moment to load. However, when completely loaded, you'll notice here in the lower right hand corner it'll say setup complete. You'll also notice just above that, and hopefully you can see my mouse just now, that's the scanner actually picking up my body. So I'm kind of leaning over to talk into the iPad right now, but as I stand up, you'll notice that the sensor will see my body. And if you move yourself around a bit, you'll find that you need to be a certain distance away from the sensor, approximately 4 feet. So our next step is to start the scanning process. Once I select the start button in the lower right hand corner, I'm going to have about 2 seconds before the scanning process actually begins, so I kind of have to be a little bit quick. And once I start the scanning process, I'm going to need to keep the core of my body, the center of my body, in the same position relative to the sensor. So I have to stay 4 feet away or so from the sensor. I got to keep the center of my body kind of still, and then I got to rotate around that point. Kind of confusing, but I think when you see my demonstration in a second, it'll make a lot of sense. Biggest problem that I've noticed with this process is that often students will go too quickly. So take your time, and it's best to have a partner. So I'm going to hit the start button and start the scanning process now. Okay, now you notice that I went too quickly and it lost tracking. That's important to note because that'll probably happen to you too. So I'm going to give this a shot again, one more time. Okay, so here we can see the scan that we've got created. Again, I didn't have anyone helping me, so it's not the best scan ever. But the reality is, for the purposes of this demonstration, this will be fine. Notice that it kind of made my back flat. That's where I lost tracking. Could very well be because of the shirt I'm wearing today, or that I just went too fast. So I'm going to save this. That's really important to make sure you save this in the correct location. And then secondly, make sure you save it as the correct kind of file. So I want to zoom in on that if I can. Down here at the bottom of the screen, you'll see by default it'll say PLY. We do not want that. We want an STL file. That's really important. And I would like you to name the file your name. So you can see I've had other students just use their first name. Please use your complete name. So, like Dylan did here, or I'm going to type Mr. Yeagle here in a second. So I'm going to save that file, and that STL file is what we can 3D scan. Okay, and you'll get this message that says, we can't really save the colors when we save an STL file. And we're just going to have to say, okay, that's fine.